Howdy YouTube, all my subscribers. So I know y'all have been following me and watching all of my thoughts, and so what I'm gonna go ahead and do this week is I'm gonna go ahead and do something a little bit different. I found an article in the newspaper. I'll go ahead and show you, and this kind of just hit the spot, and I figured that I would do it. And the article says, the surprise as the expectations affect mood. Okay? Now basically, what that's saying, and believe me, there is an actual equation as to how you can figure out your happiness and what the root of it is. Okay? In an actual science, there was a place that they've published a statement saying that the element of surprise has a big impact on how we feel moment to moment, but we'll be happier if something was unexpectedly satisfying over just knowing it was. Now, basically, what it's saying is, if we go into something and we know it's going to be good, we know it's going to be great, our mood is going to drop just a little bit. And I tell you why. Because if we keep going with what we know, and we keep telling ourselves that this is going to be great, it's going to be great, it's going to be great, it's going to be great, well, how do you make yourself happier and happier and happier? You can't, you know? Like, you have to keep raising the bar and raising the bar. And if you raise it from here to here, how are you ever going to get above there? You know, it's like, you'd have to... I'll give you an example on that. Alright, say you go into a restaurant, alright? And you go in and you order something, and you're like, you know what? I always go for this, and I know it's awesome, okay? But why not try this? This sounds really good. Like, maybe even the special on the board, okay? And it just sounds so great that you're thinking of ordering that, okay? If you're like, well, I'll give it a try, you know? If you give that particular mind frame, the particular idea, you might find that what you're ordering is going to be 5 times better because your mind was thought that it was not going to be all that great. Okay, do you see what's going on there? So you're essentially telling your brain and your mind and your mood that it's okay, but when you actually eat it, it's 10 times great. It's awesome, okay? It's the same thing about, you know, even relationships, okay? If you go out on your date and you're like, oh my god, I can't wait, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. I mean, it's gonna be the best date ever, you know? If y'all go ahead and do that, then, you know, if one tiny little thing don't go the way it was planned, because you know what? Things change, y'all. Things ain't always how it's supposed to be. So if it changes, and it ain't in your control, do you realize that when the bar was this high, now it's this low? Because you stepped it up so high that now it's impossible to even climb to the top. So, how do you combat that? How do you get rid of that? The way you get rid of that is by saying, you know what? Why don't we just go on out and, like, go take a cruise, or why don't we just go out and go find a pond or a lake, or why don't we just go out to the local, you know, the shops and see what's there. I mean, you might just go out just to see a shop and see what's there, you know. So mentally you're thinking, well, we might just see what's there. But do you know what? What if you like something in that shop? What if you see something on the way to the shop that you like? Then that particular memory or that particular time is a lot better than as if you just say, well, we're just going to see some old shop. So, do you see how this is kind of playing out? We often think that the expectations have to be really, really, really great. And, you know, if you do, it's going to be hard. Now, if you think about it, two things have to happen, okay? There has to be a degree of surprise. So, there has to be some surprise somewhere. And you have to have an overall expectation, okay? Overall expectation being that what the grand outcome would be, okay? If you add those two together, that's where you'll be great in that time frame, okay? So at any given time, if you surprise yourself with something that you didn't know was going to happen, and you was like, well, I'm going to do this, and then you end up doing a lot more, that's where it actually pans out. So, our senses are tuned to changes in things, and that's where we end up, we gain the most, okay? We gain the most benefit from things that we didn't think we was. And like when you taste something, it's like, I don't think I'm gonna like it. That's not all that bad. You know, that's where it comes in. It's the senses. And on top of that, if you become a pessimist, and pessimists are negative thinkers, people who just always think negative. Oh, I don't like that, or this ain't gonna be good, or that's not how I do it, or well, that's not how it's supposed to go. You know, you basically, you're going to lead yourself to disappointment all the time. You know, just open up a little bit, you know, see what's out there, see what's available to you. And, you know, you never know, folks. And so I'm going to go ahead and close this one out, but you just see what happens. I mean, go day to day, and, you know, don't expect what you're going to do from when you wake up to when you fall asleep. Just try this, okay? Try making the day a surprise, okay? And I know for a fact that if you make the day, well, some of the day, okay, a surprise, your mood will get happier and happier and happier, okay? And you don't got to set the bar all the way to the top the first day, but do it little by little, okay? And your mood will be so great that by the time of the week it goes by, you'll be able to conquer anything on the weekend. You'll be able to do anything during the week when you're at work. I mean, the sky's the limit. But the first part is that you gotta do some things. It's like you gotta be spontaneous, okay? And when you're spontaneous, it can happen the right way, you know? On dates, when you go out to eat, when you go pick out a car, when you go out to a movie, when you go out to see relatives, when you go out to meet a friend. Do something spontaneous, and you just never know. Sometimes that spontaneous moment that you're engaging in will far better exceed what you was originally planning on doing, like just meeting a friend or just going out to eat. You know, try it, see what happens. If you don't like it, come back and unsubscribe to me, because, you know, just kidding, don't do that, but, you know, it just, try it, see what happens. I mean, you never know. So, alright, so little C with my TTW this week. Be spontaneous, okay? Alright, y'all, go ahead and check out my videos. They should be somewhere down there, that when you click my videos. And a lot of times I'll put descriptions down below me and the titles. We usually like to stick right at the top. But I'll go ahead and leave y'all, and hopefully I'll see you next week, and we'll come up with something good. Alright? It's Little C. I love y'all. Bye.